Big Ronnie saying if you don't watch this guy's YouTube channel, you're making a big mistake.
What's up, everybody? Oh, man. I love when I forget to do something, like add myself to the stream. How y'all doing tonight? It is Monday. It's April 1st. No April Fool's jokes here. I've seen enough of that stuff today. And, some are pretty funny. Some are kind of lame. Some are like, what? I'm not an April Fool's joke is fun or something, but I don't have anything planned. Just going to put that out there, just throwing it out there. But I hope you're all having a wonderful April 1st, wonderful start to your spring here. Still been rainy around here. I don't know what's up with that. It's just crazy. They talk about this atmospheric river that's going on, but hey, I guess we can use the rain. So that's fine. That is fine. But I hope you're having a wonderful evening. And it is time to talk about some horror movies. So let's do this. Let's dive right in, and I'll say hello to y'all in just a moment, but hopefully everybody can hear me loud and good. I did record a video for John Ward's channel last night, and we used a different program, so I had to adjust my microphone. So hopefully nothing that I did adjustment-wise is impacting your ability to hear or see me today. But here we go, diving right into the news. It is, where we go? I lost it. It is First Omen week. I'm excited. The trailer looks pretty good, looks pretty dark. Hey, after Immaculate, it's got its work cut out for it. I really loved Immaculate. Immaculate's got some decent reviews so far, like Rotten Tomato scores. Hopefully the First Omen picks up right where Immaculate left off with the religious subgenre of horror movies. It looks good. Fingers crossed. I'm hoping it's good. And so I have a poll question up there. And if you haven't voted already, and I should have changed the answers because I put, will the First Omen pop or flop? And then I put yes or no. But I mean, it should have been pop or flop. But yes, for if you think it's going to pop and be great, flop would be no. So let's see what we got right now. We're sitting at 14 votes, and we're 64% think it's going to pop. So we shall see as the video goes on. We'll revisit that poll right there. Monkey Man is also coming out this week. I honestly not as thrilled about this trailer as some people are, but sorry, it's always 7 p.m. right when I go live. I get messages, so forgive me. But I don't know that I'll go see this in theaters. Maybe it just depends. Maybe I'll do like a double feature, go see the First Omen and Monkey Man the same day or something. I'm not sure. But I've heard people say it looks like a foreign John Wick or something like that. But I just don't know. It didn't knock me off my feet, but supposedly, it's getting pretty high early reviews. So Monkey Man. So you got two big ones coming out this week. And then also, I screwed up and I didn't move this over. So you get to look at this in front of me as I talk about it. Michael Madsen in Monster Mash. And this, if you don't know, was directed by the legend who is Master Chaos, a.k.a. Jose Prendes. This just came out a couple days ago, had a limited theatrical run, but across the country, you could have seen this at different theaters. If you went to like the Asylum's website, or if you just searched Monster Mash, it would have shown you where you could have seen it in theaters. But I guess now Monster Mash is streaming on Apple TV and Vudu, I think. So, but I went to the premiere the other night with Master Chaos. Obviously, he directed the movie, and What Movie One, and the Fluffy Gamer. And I got to chat with Harry Manfredini again, Mr. Harry Manfredini of many, many movies, but Friday the 13th fame for making the music for those movies. And then the legend Jeffrey Mandel, who directed the 1989, 87, I forget what year it was, movie Elves. That is a phenomenal Christmas movie. There's no DVD or Blu-ray release. It's only VHS, or it's been streaming. So if you can find that, if you haven't seen Elves, I recommend checking it out. If nothing else, at Christmas time coming up this year. It's a great Christmas horror movie. And so got to hang out with them, some great friends, and see a lot of different people. I had a great time at the premiere. It was a fun movie. If you're into classic monsters, as you see in the picture here, it's got Dracula, and the guy who played Dracula is phenomenal. And Michael Madsen actually plays Dr. Frankenstein. And then so you can see, obviously, there's Frankenstein's monster. There's the mummy. There's the Invisible Man and the Wolf Man. So you've got all the classic monsters right there in a Monster Mash movie. And it was well put together. It was fun. I had a great time there with everybody. And even if classic monsters are not your thing, check it out. Support our homie, Mr. Master Chaos, Mr. Jose Prenda. Support him and his film career by checking it out. Just check it out. And I think you'll enjoy it. I really did. I had a good time. I think What Movie One is doing a video from the premiere that night. I'm not sure when he's putting that up. But it was a rainy, gloomy night. It was a perfect night for a horror movie premiere. It was really fun. And then we got to go hang out afterward with Master Chaos. What Movie One, Fluffy Gamer, and I went to what's it called? House of Pies, I think, over in LA, and sat there and had coffee and little snacky snacks for a couple hours after the premiere. And it just was a perfect ending to a wonderful night with three guys that I absolutely love. So it was very, very cool. I was so happy to be able to make it. I was a little worried of the dates when he was going to have that premiere, just because it's Easter time. There was a lot going on, and it was on a Saturday night, so it worked out. Although it was like the night before Easter, so a little crazy. And other news about this past weekend, there was the Art Sideshow pop-up, in which they started late. I think maybe because of the rain. I'm not sure. I was not able to make it down there to Arts because I was not going to be able to see my daughter on Easter. And so there was a lot of things going on. And being that I was just going to be able to get to see her on Easter Eve, we had a nice big dinner. And then Fluffy came up, and we took off to go down to the movie premiere after that, because it was at 10 p.m. But I had to spend time with the family. And because my one daughter had to leave, then I couldn't go to Art Sideshow. It's far enough that I couldn't go and then come back and then go out to the movie premiere. So it unfortunately, there will be no video from me for that pop-up, but hopefully I'll make the next one. Hopefully it's not a holiday weekend. But I mean, I understand Christmas, you're going to do it for Christmas time, and Easter. What better day than the day before Easter? So I hope they all had fun. It was very wet and rainy that day, but hopefully they had a wonderful time out there at Art Sideshow for that pop-up. So that was my weekend, a little bit of it. But we got to talk movies. We still got movies to talk about. And the next, so that's what's going on right now. First Omen's coming out. Monkey Man's coming out. Monster Mash. You can stream it or look it up and see if you can find it in a theater nearby. But also we've got coming soon still, and this one I'm pretty excited for, so I keep mentioning it. Abigail. If you haven't seen the trailer for this, this looks phenomenal. I really can't wait for this. So still coming out about 3 weeks from now. So there it is. Abigail. Very much looking forward to that. And then we had Godzilla X Kong is out. And this is interesting. And this is why you don't really trust the Rotten Tomatoes scores. I prefer looking at the audience scores as opposed to the experts. The experts have Godzilla X Kong at 55%. The audience has them at 92%. So the audience, the people that are going to see this movie, typically are enjoying it. For the vast majority of people that are seeing it. I don't know what's going on with the experts. And if you watch that Phat Samurai guy's reaction right when he and Lady Phatblood walk out of the theater, they talk about you can't compare it to Godzilla -1. It's a different style, a different type of Godzilla movie. So just understand that going in, and hopefully you'll enjoy it if you go see it. I have not seen it, and I'm not going to lie. Have I seen Godzilla movies? Yes. Have I seen King Kong movies? Yes. They are not my favorite movies, and so because of that and being busy, I have yet to see Godzilla X Kong, but it's on the list. I'm going to check it out at some point and give you all my thoughts on it. And then I still need to go see also Late Night with the Devil. I did not get a chance to get back to the theater this week, which Late Night with the Devil was sitting at a 97% on the experts, the scores there, which is impressive. But kind of taking that score with a grain of salt, the fans, the audience have Late Night with the Devil at 82 right now. So this is holding up. I wasn't sure because initially, right when movies come out, you get that the initial wave of reviews, and then it takes time before you get a good number, like over 1,000 reviews, where you can really put some stock into the number. And this has been out for a while now, and it is still holding strong. So if you have not seen Late Night with the Devil, I think it's going to be good, and I'm definitely going to be checking it out. And then there is this. This is very interesting. Very interesting. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2. The first one was an abomination. It was so bad. It has, I don't even know if it has an audience score, but the expert score on Rotten Tomatoes is 3%. And I have no debate or no issue with that score at all. It was a bad movie. It was very bad. The new one is a very different story. The new one, as of this morning, had an 80% score from fans. 80%. That is, what a difference. So, and the experts have it at 50. So, man, I might have to check out Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2 now. And the big news on that is it's done so well that Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 3 has already been confirmed. Supposedly it's going to have a bigger budget and be even better than 1 or 2. So God help us. Winnie the Pooh 2 is doing well. So now they're going to make a third. It happens. I mean, you look at, like Terrifier movies. All Hallows Eve maybe didn't do so good, but you revamp that character a little bit and put them into Terrifier and people fall in love with it. So you never know. But I still feel like I'm not going to enjoy Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. I really am not looking forward to going and seeing that, but I will. I'll check it out and then I'll let you know my thoughts. In other news, so yes, we talked about this last week, but Lisa Frankenstein and Night Swim are now streaming on Peacock if you want to check those out. And I got to say, before diving in, I should have said this even earlier. Rest in peace, Louis Gossett Jr., first black man to ever win a supporting actor Oscar, passed away at the age of 87. Nice long life. He lived a good life. I hope he lived a good life. He lived as far as length, a good long life. And I would imagine being a well-known actor, he hopefully had a decent life. But Louis Gossett Jr., we've all seen something that he's in. Just a very sad loss for Hollywood, for movie fans in general. So rest in peace, Louis Gossett Jr. Other news in the way of Scream 7, Courtney Cox is in talks to join Neve Campbell and return to the Scream franchise, which, I mean, she is like the only one that's been there the whole time now. So Courtney Cox working on getting her back to the Scream 7 for, keeping her in the franchise there. A fun one for me, I'm very excited about, as well as that Phat Samurai guy. Ready or Not 2 with Samara Weaving is in development. I cannot wait. I absolutely love Ready or Not. If you've not seen that, I highly recommend it. Samara Weaving is phenomenal in everything she does. I just really enjoyed her. So fingers crossed that it happens, that it doesn't fall apart, and we get a Ready or Not 2. That would be amazing. I would absolutely love to see that. And then supposedly there is a new Chucky movie in development that is supposed to go kind of in cahoots with the TV show. So if you're enjoying the TV show, the Chucky series, there's supposed to be a new movie in development, in the very early stages of development, to go along with that. And Hellraiser 2022. I don't know if anybody caught me talking about that in the past, and I don't recall. I'd have to go back and look to see if I did a review on that, or if I talked about it in one of these live streams or something. But Hellraiser 2022, I was okay with. I had a good time with that. Was it the best movie ever? No. Was it the best in the franchise? No. But it was a fine Hellraiser sequel. I enjoyed it. I had a good time with it. And there's supposedly going to be a sequel now. They're in talks right now. Very, very early stages, but they're in talks for a sequel to that Hellraiser from 2022. I went in, I wasn't sure, because I thought it was going to be, the trailer had elements of maybe they were going to be pushing political stuff, and watching it, I didn't really feel that way. So I enjoyed it, and I hope they do get a sequel. I would love to see that. And then I'll talk about these a little bit later, but a couple movies I watched this past week were Shooter, Mark Wahlberg, and Animal Factory, starring Steve Buscemi and Eddie Furlong and many, many others. But watch those movies. A couple great movies. We could talk about those a little bit later after I say hello to everybody. But that's basically what's it. That's basically what's going on in the news. So now let's dive on in and review some of these comments from you folks here. Well, this was way early today. Lee, how you doing? Hopefully you're able to be here and watching. Jennifer, what's up? How you doing? Jennifer is instantly becoming a legend over here. Very glad to see you, Jennifer. I hope you had a great Easter with family. Gail, I absolutely did. For the most part, we did our Easter stuff the day before. We still celebrated Easter yesterday, obviously, but as far as the big family dinner and stuff, we really had that like Saturday night. But I had a wonderful weekend. I mean, an absolute wonderful weekend where Saturday, between spending time with family and having a nice dinner, and then going to Master Chaos premiere, and then yesterday kind of having a peaceful, relaxing, reflective day was very nice. So thank you for that, Gail. And hopefully you had a wonderful Easter as well. Hopefully you all did. Seen the new Godzilla movie, thought it was okay. 6 out of 10. All right, very cool. Happy April Fool's Day. Well, happy April Fool's Day to you, Deadpool. Happy Friday, OGP in the house. Destroy that like button if you would, everybody. That'd be very cool. Hit that thumbs up. I appreciate that. Antonis is here. What's up, Antonis? How you doing? Brian Sanchez in the house. What up, what up? Nocturno, the legend. Is it a Catholic or Christian movie? What movie we're talking about? Oh, are you talking about The First Omen? I mean, Catholicism is a form of Christianity, so I don't know exactly. I'd have to watch the movie and tell you, but I don't put that much stock into movies. It's a movie, so like I saw somebody commented about Immaculate saying, "Oh, it's I love it. The Christians are going to hate it because it's blasphemous." Blah blah blah. It's a movie. No, but you're supposed to watch it and just take it for what it is. Get a little enjoyment out of it. It's a movie. The only problem I have with movies is when they put political agendas in it. This had no political agenda in it. We've been doing, not necessarily faith-based, but religious, like type movies for a long time, with the original Omen movies, with the Exorcist movies, and so many others. The Right with Anthony Hopkins, another phenomenal movie. But I just don't like dive into that much or care that much. I'm watching it as a movie and just strictly for entertainment. So if I want to know, something about like religion or whatever, I'm definitely not going to a movie on it. So I just don't put that much stock into it. So I couldn't tell you. But yes, Catholics are Christians. Yes, 100% Reggie. Yes. Wicked Network. What's up? What's up? I hope you had a phenomenal Easter. Easter Bunny brought me an Easter basket full of candy for a 25-year-old. Decent. Yeah, Easter Bunny brought me some of those little chocolate Cadbury eggs. Love those. What is your favorite Omen movie, OGP? Hopefully the new one, but other than that, I would say probably the original. And I got a box set down here. Maybe someday I need to upgrade this or whatever, but I got this box set right here. And I when it comes to movies, I am typically a big fan of the originals. I know, Friday the 13th, a lot of people like part 4, a lot of people like part 6. For me, my favorite is still the original. And that's why I think with the Omen, it just where it starts off the franchise. I've only seen the original and the remake. Right on. Well, hey, hopefully the first Omen looks amazing. I would recommend going and check it out. I think it's going to be great. My opinion, I think it's going to be good. Let me know when Monster Mash on DVD. Gail. So unfortunately, it looks like as of right now, there is no plan for a physical release for Monster Mash. The Asylum, the company that is releasing the movie, the Asylum makes all kinds of how do I phrase it? The movies they make, so The Exorcist was coming out last year, right? The new Exorcist movie. So they made The Exorcists, something along those lines. So this one, Monster Mash, I'm not sure what this was in line with, but it kind of felt like it was one-upping the Munsters. If you've seen or like sat through Rob Zombie's The Munsters, this was definitely a better monster movie than that. But typically, the Asylum likes to make movies. If there's like a mainstream Exorcist movie, we're making The Exorcists. The Exorcists was better than the Exorcist movie that came out last year. They both came out last year, but it was better than the big one. So the Asylum is that company, and they are not putting as much out on physical as they used to. And unfortunately, as of right now, there is no plan. But with The Exorcists, there was also no plan for physical media. And then somebody in Germany wanted it, apparently. And so it got produced over there on physical, and then it made its way over here. So fingers crossed, we're hoping, Master Chaos is hoping that it does get a physical release someday. But we're just not there yet. There's no timeline for that. Michael McNally's in the house. What up, Michael? Let's see here. Bump. Did you see the Batman 2 got pushed back to 2026? Yeah. Last I had heard or looked into it, Batman was getting pushed back, and there was a point where they weren't even sure if Robert Pattinson was going to come back or anything. So I'm not really following that timeline until we get some more like firm dates or anything or real news out of it. But I knew it was not going to happen at least this year or into at least the middle or late next year. So 2026, huh? Interesting. Mr. Chevy Chase, what's up? How you doing? Coco Tina, what's up? Easter weekend for me was nice, but it got cold and windy. Yes, you know what? It was cold. It was a little bit of wind, but it was raining and cold and Sorry, I'm looking at Reddy's comment. It was rainy, it was cold, it was but it was a weekend full of love, and that's what mattered the most. So hopefully you still had a wonderful, wonderful weekend and didn't let that cold and wind bug you too much. Looks like you did. No hitter, Reggie. Who's got a no hitter? Somebody got a no hitter going? Blanco no hits Blue Jays, gives Astros first victory. Well, there you go. There you go. Congrats to the Astros for getting that first W. And hey, no hitter too. First no hitter of the season, right? Very cool. Late night with the Devils, 7 out of 10. Gail, very nice. Glad to hear it. Random question: are you a fan of the Monkeys? Like, hey, we're the Monkeys. People like to say we monkey around. I can't remember the lyrics. The Monkeys, the band, I enjoy the Monkeys. Yes, I'm not going to sit here and lie and tell you that it's a band that I seek out to put on. But if I'm scrolling around on the radio dial and there's a Monkey song on, I definitely stop and listen to it. I enjoy the Monkeys. Is Lisa Frankenstein still at the movie theater? I don't believe so, Coco. I don't. I think you have to go stream that now on the Peacock network. So, and I think if I remember right, you may be able to get like a free trial if you don't want to sign up for the Peacock. You might be able to do that, but Peacock isn't that expensive. It's definitely would for 1 month. A Peacock would definitely be a lot cheaper than buying a movie ticket. So, you know, if you don't have it, sign up for Peacock for a month and check it out. I don't believe it's still in theaters. Iron Eagle, what's up, Rob? I'm not sure. Is there you watching Iron Eagle or so? What's up with that comment right there? But Iron Eagle, Top Gun, two very great 80s military movies. Definitely loved Iron Eagle from back in the day. Remember that? Cody, what up? Finally quit my job at the Waffle House. Now I work at a movie theater. Nice, Cody. That is a great place to work. Love that. Very cool. Hopefully you get to take home some posters and stuff. Tubi has a good... hold on. Ooh, sorry. A little sneeze come out of nowhere right there. Tubi has a good movie, Shortcuts, British horror. Okay, very cool. I'll add that to my note. Shortcuts, man, that sounds familiar. I wonder. I'll have to look that up. I think I own a movie that's similar title. I'll have to look that up. But thanks for that, Gail. I get to see all the movies for free now. That is awesome. That is awesome, Cody. Yeah, I would love to work at a movie theater. Also get tons of free posters. I actually like the job. Nice. Very, very cool. Favorite Easter candy, Monkey? My favorite Easter candy is good old-fashioned jelly beans. I just love jelly beans. Like, not like the knockoff jelly beans you get from like 7-Eleven or convenience stores, but what's the name of that brand? Is it like Brock's or something like that? But love jelly beans. Those are, and they're just so addictive. I just get hooked on them and I can't stop eating them. So jelly beans are definitely my favorite Easter candy. Pardon me. I feel like a loser because I haven't gone out and watched a movie at the theaters. That does not make you a loser. I know. So there's a lot of reasons. Movie theaters are not cheap. You know, I went there. I know I bought the Ghostbusters trap thing, which was $25. But between going there and getting the movie ticket and then getting popcorn, red vines, a drink. So ticket, popcorn, red vines, a drink, and that bucket. I was at like $65 for one movie. So it is not cheap. And you also run the risk of people talking or being loud or walking in front of you. You can't get up and go to the bathroom and pause the movie. And, you know, and then there's my ultimate pet peeve is people like crinkling their bags or, you know, chewing really loud or something. So, you know, and you risk, I've been at theaters where there've been little kids sneezing and stuff all over the place. And so there is a definite benefit to going and watch, or, you know, staying home and watching movies as opposed to going to a theater. So no, definitely don't feel like a loser for that. You know, and there's a lot of folks that just can't afford it at all. You know, and that's, you know, if that's, where anybody is in life. The fortunate thing is we do now with streaming, you don't even have to go to Blockbuster and rent movies. You just wait a little while and you'll be able to see them at home. These are fictional characters, fictional characters. Is any of this getting through? Holden McNeil. It's a quote, I'm sure, Cody, and I'm missing it. Sorry. Descent. Wicked Network. Off topic, the movie I randomly watched yesterday was called Late Night with the Devil. Was amazing. It's late night talk show meets The Exorcist. No, Cody, that is not off topic at all here. That is what we talk about here on the Horror Movie Monday show. And it has been getting very great reviews. So I'm very excited about checking it out. I really like Michael Madsen, but he hasn't been good in a film in a long time. Jeff, yeah, Michael Madsen is kind of, he never, I don't think, ever achieved the fame that like Nicolas Cage did. He wasn't ever that number one actor in a film, but because seemed like he's always like supporting or whatever. Various capacities and stuff, but a very famous actor who we all know. And it seems like Michael Madsen has been doing a lot of movies kind of like Nicolas Cage did for a while, where Nicolas Cage was drowning in debt and was just doing any movie he could to make a buck. And I think, Nick Cage has gotten away from that a little bit. And hopefully Madsen, whatever Tarantino's last movie is supposed to be, hopefully maybe Michael Madsen gets in that or something. I think a lot, and when we talk about how an actor hasn't been great in a movie, a lot of it, you have to say, how was the script? Was it well written? How was the director? Were they giving good direction? Did he understand, his, the emotion of the scene and all that stuff? So those things have to be taken into account. But I know, and I can tell you from being on set of movies that Michael Madsen has been in, apparently Michael likes to ad-lib a lot, and he likes to, he has a little Bruce Willis in him. And I've been hearing that for years. This is nothing I heard. Master Chaos had nothing but praise to say for Michael Madsen. But other sets that I've heard, things that I've known about Michael Madsen is that sometimes he can be a bit of a challenge for directors to work with. But I know there's a lot of movies where I wonder. For example, in Scream 5, I thought Melissa Barrera's acting was terrible. It was just terrible for a picture that big, a production that big. For her acting to be that bad, it was cringeworthy. And I'm going like, okay, was that her or was that the director? And if her acting was that bad and the director realized it, why didn't they keep doing retakes until they got it right? So I kind of feel that might have been bad direction on the part of Melissa Barrera for Scream 5. I don't know. I wasn't there, obviously, but I just wonder sometimes when I see actors not do a great job, I wonder a lot if it's them or if it is the director or other circumstances, maybe. Jennifer, thank you so much. Look at this. The legend Jennifer coming through with another super chat, $10. Oh, thank you so much, Jennifer. You absolutely rock. And hello to you. I hope, Jennifer, hopefully you had the greatest weekend. Hopefully you had a wonderful Easter. And to answer your question, my Easter, as a whole weekend was a phenomenal. I had an absolutely great weekend. And it was nice. It was a very, very nice weekend. And, got to see a lot of great friends and some family and stuff. So it was perfect. It was perfect. Yes. Thank you so much, Jennifer. You absolutely rock. When is Fluffy moving to the great state of Texas? Fluffy, it's funny. He's actually in the great state of Arizona right now, visiting family out there. And when he comes back, he'll be back here for a couple weeks at least. And then he's going to be heading off to the Lone Star State. So I think later on this month, a little later this month, he'll be out there. But I believe as of, I don't know if he's completely out of his condo yet. I'm not sure. But it's getting close to him being out of there. He is going to stay here for a couple weeks before moving off. I've been rewatching the Hatchet movie last few nights. Tonight is Hatchet 4. Nice. So when I first watched, I watched Victor Crowley before I ever watched the Hatchet movies. And I was not a big fan. And then, like, some people were telling me, "Oh, you need to just go back and watch Hatchet, and you'll like it better." And so, the first Hatchet movie is fun. I really enjoy the first Hatchet movie. I'm not gonna lie, I have not seen the others, but they are on my list of movies I want to be checking out here at some point. I wonder when Hatchet 5 will be made. It has been confirmed, I think, by the director himself. Nice. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know. Gail, I met Davy Jones in the 80s. Wow, nice. No, and that's the thing. The Monkeys, the TV show. I remember the TV show was fun, and if the reruns were on or something now, I would definitely sit through an episode of the Monkeys or two. But the music was fun. The guys, they seemed like good guys. And, in fact, John Ward is like the biggest Monkey fan I know. He absolutely loves the Monkeys, and he was going to drive out because I believe there's just one of them remaining, right? The other three have passed away. And I forgive me, I don't remember which one it is, but he was going to be playing a concert coming up soon, maybe like next weekend or something. And John was going to be coming out to see that, but he's having car trouble, so he's not comfortable driving his car from Vegas out to Southern California to go see that show. So he's unfortunately going to take a pass and have to sell his ticket. Yeah, no, the Monkeys, very fun music. Oh, and thank you for that. No, that sneeze came out of nowhere. I have no idea where that sneeze came from. It was very funny. Why do women? Oh my goodness, way up, dude. I was reading the next word there and just boom, stopped me dead in my tracks. Why do women have orgasms? Just another reason to moan. Oh man, wait, what's up, way up, dude? And man, way up, dude. Oh my goodness. So way up, dude likes to walk that line of are we going too far or are we not going far enough? And I'll tell you, that one we might have crossed the line there a little bit. We might have crossed that line, but that is hysterical. Oh, very funny. And it's a joke. Everybody, don't get mad at him. Wait, no, and even Jennifer thinks that's funny. It is very funny. Oh, that's great. Preminator, what's up? Antonis, love seeing your interview with Jonathan Breck, but why did you not ask him if he hates? Oh, that's to me, Antonis, I don't think that is an appropriate question to ask somebody you've just met. I would never ask Linda Blair. I wouldn't go up to Linda Blair and go, "Hey, why do you hate Eileen Dietz?" I understand the reason for your question there, Antonis, but I just don't think it was an appropriate venue or time to ask that question. Peeps. Oh, and Jennifer, I love Peeps too. I absolutely love Peeps. And they're another one that I actually, like have a very hard time putting down once I stop or once I pick up the box. I usually won't stop until they're all gone. And there's usually like 6 or 9 or 10 or how many ever in a box. And I eat them all. Oh, Reese's eggs are another phenomenal one. Yes. No, some great. And that's, Christmas has great candy. All these holidays have great candy, but I think Easter might take the cake for best candy holiday. It just might. Eric Medina, what up? How you doing? Hopefully you had a wonderful weekend. Reese's eggs sound amazing. I know. I would totally kill some. I would totally be killing some Reese's eggs. How often on this stream do we end up getting into talking about food? We're either talking about restaurants or candy or something, or mustard versus ketchup debate. So very funny. But Reese's eggs do sound amazing. Is the First Omen based on the Damien movies? From what I have read and what I kind of understand, it is supposed to be like the origin story for this franchise. And they talk about her being the mother of evil and stuff. So I think maybe she is really, that's maybe Damien's biological mom, or I don't know exactly. I'll let you know after I see the movie, but I believe it's like an origins, or maybe it's like Damien's grandmother or something. I don't know, but I believe it is like an origin story for the Omen. And, and I know we've had, get it out here, like, prequel type things, but I think the First Omen is like origin story. So we'll see. And I'll definitely, I will be seeing that this week. There is no question about that. And definitely be I'll do when, just so everybody knows, if I do a like movie reaction video where I come out of the theater and give you my initial thoughts, I will not spoil the movie for you. I'll tell you maybe, I'm going to give you 5 minutes of me talking about just scoring, grading what I think of the story, grading what I think of the acting, grading what I think of the, effects, the locations, different elements of it. And I'll give you an overall score, a recommendation of whether you should go see it or not, how I feel about the movie. And then I may just tell you, hey, and if you don't want to see any more, because I do want to talk a little spoilers, turn the video off now. And I'll give you time. I will warn you before I ever go into spoilers in those videos. So maybe I'll do one of those videos after coming out of the theater. I enjoy doing those videos. But sometimes it just depends on the day of the week too. Because if I go see the movie like on a Sunday night, the weekend's almost over, and then I'm going to be talking about that movie here too. So it depends if I'll end up doing one of those or not. I'm not 100% sure yet, but maybe I'll do one of those. If not, I'll definitely be talking about the First Omen here next week. And Reggie says, my local cinema has 7:50 matinees, usually not too crowded. Nice, Reggie. And I love going to the matinees. And so there's 2 theaters around me. One is usually very empty, and I can go in there and sometimes be the only person in the theater. And I love that. But they have like nice seats, like with the armrests, the leather seats with the little table, but they don't recline. So the other theater is newer, nicer, stadium seating. The one theater that's never crowded is not stadium seating. And so I like going to the newer theater, and it's usually more crowded. But even still, for matinees, it's not that bad, or late night on a Sunday, it's not that bad. So I love being in theaters when they're not that crowded. So and that theater, the new one, it's not that bad. We go see movies, and I think maybe it's like $12. They're really not that expensive for like a regular showing, not a matinee. Matinees, I don't remember what they are, but $7.50 is a great price to go see a movie. I like going to the nice movie theaters where they serve you food and drinks. Oh yes, Coco. So I've only been to those like a couple times, and they are very fun. And my thing is like, if we're talking, like alcohol, because there's only been like, I think at Ghostbusters Afterlife, I got one of they had like, and I think Cinestalker had one too. Some like Ghostbusters theme mixed drink. And I don't remember what it was offhand, but I tried that. It was a fun drink. But for me, if I'm drinking, a lot of times I will fall asleep in a movie theater. So I don't do like alcohol in the theaters that often. But it's nice when you don't have to get up from your seat and they'll bring you stuff. Yeah, that is a cool feature. I hate people who go to the theater and cough uncontrollably because they can't control their popcorn intake. Yes, no, and Cody, and that is something you're right, because especially if you get a lot of salt on your popcorn, salt can get in your throat and definitely make you cough. Or if you get that one popcorn kernel stuck in your throat, definitely make you cough. And that's why, you definitely have to have something to drink to wash that stuff down, or just be careful with it. And some people they don't have a sense of self-awareness, and they don't realize what they are portraying themselves, as, or they don't realize that they're noisy eaters, or Don't think about how coughing or talking could impact other people's, viewing of the movie, which they spend a lot of money on to go see at the theater. It's a matter of being respectful. And there's just, unfortunately, a lot of people in society that just don't care. Indrid, what's up? How you doing? Gather up, go to the movies, keep the theaters alive. Yes, no. And I definitely love going to the theaters. It is nice to watch things at home there. And typically for me, I'll watch a trailer and go, this looks like something I'll see at home, or this is something I want to see in theaters. And something like Ghostbusters, it's going to have big effects and things. I was like, I want to see that in theaters. And certain movies, I'm like, I don't want to wait to see this at home. I want to see it now, so I want to go see it in theaters. But there's other movies that I'm like, okay, I can wait for this at home. And so I kind of decide that way. But I enjoy going to the theater, even though you're having all the possible things that could ruin your movie watching experience. It is still very fun to go to the theater. I love walking in, smelling the popcorn, just kind of being there. It is nice to go to the theaters. Yep. I don't like the theater because I hate being around people, Jennifer. And you know what? And that is part of it too. And I understand that because it's, sometimes in crowds, people they don't have common sense or common courtesy. And for me, it's not like a COVID thing. It's just always been me. And I'm a bit of a germaphobe, and I like to go. I'm just not a big fan of crowds. And I really enjoyed when going to the horror conventions, like Monsterpalooza, Midsummer Scream, Creep I.E, when there were limitations on how many people could go because of the COVID rules. The conventions were much nicer because they weren't so crowded. So I did appreciate that. And I enjoy going to the theater when there's nobody around me. I really understand where you're coming from there. People can just, especially just even standing in a grocery store, standing in line to buy some groceries, and then you get that person that walks up right behind you where you can almost feel them breathing. And it's like, forget about COVID. I don't want to catch the flu or a cold if you're sick. I just don't want your cooties on me. So just give me a little space. And some people just don't have that common sense. So I totally understand your comment there. Brian says, last weekend on Sunday, a movie on the movie theaters, Ghostbuster, Frozen Empire, Godzilla, X-Kong, New Empire. Nice. Hopefully you enjoyed them. I'd rather just watch a movie with your cat. Nice. Yeah, I would love to watch a movie with my cat, but one of my cats, but my cat would put me in an early grave because I am very, very allergic to cats. But I would be all about it. Cats are cool, but I can't be around them. Going to the movies on a random night. The movies. Yep. Nope. Love going to the movies. Yep. Rest in peace, Louis Gossett Jr. Yeah, Rob. 90s kids hero. Yeah. Man, I've drawn a blank on different movies he's been in, but like a bunch. But yeah, man. And is that how far I am behind? Oh, I'm 20 minutes behind. We got to get to it. We got to get caught up here. And Melissa was great in Scream 6. I thought she totally redeemed herself for Scream 6. Yes. OG will go see The Hangover Part 2 with Wet Movie in Vegas again. Oh, will we see The Hangover Part 2? Wet Movie 1 and I'm sure will be in Vegas again at some point. I'm sure that will happen. OGP, it always makes me happy when you're live. Well, it makes me happy when you're hanging out with us when we're live. How you doing, NG? Michael Madsen is in the new Asylum movie Monster Mash, which looks like fun if you like Asylum crap. Well, Trevor, it's funny you mentioned that because no, Michael Madsen is, and we talked about that a little while ago, but the Asylum movie Monster Mash was directed by a man who I love dearly, a great friend of mine, Mr. Jose Prendes. And this movie, we got to go to the premiere a couple nights ago with Wet Movie 1, Fluffy Gamer and I. And then we went and hung out with director Jose Prendes afterwards, had coffee and a little snack, and had a great night after the premiere of Monster Mash over in LA. and it was fun. I know the Asylum has put out some real turds, but if you haven't seen the Exorcist movie that they did last year that Jose directed, it's phenomenal. It's a fun, legitimate Exorcist movie with Doug Bradley. It was great. So it was Monster Mash was fun. It's you could stream it on Apple TV and I think Vudu right now. So if you want to check it out, you should be able to do that if it's not in a theater close to you, because it is in some theaters. Let's see here. I have all the Hatchet movies. Victor Crowley is the worst one. Okay, good to know, Gail. Good to know. Yeah, Victor Crowley was rough for me. Yes, Intercode love Reese's Easter eggs. Yes, they're great. DP, what up? What do you think of this upcoming Civil War movie? Predictive programming? Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little apprehensive about it. I'm sure I'll watch it, but I haven't really talked about it because I just don't know how I feel about it. I am a little concerned that my thing is I enjoy history. I enjoy historically based movies, and I prefer them to be accurate. I don't want a world I don't want a Civil War movie where we decide Abraham Lincoln was female. I don't want a Civil War movie where we decide Abraham Lincoln was not white, and it's not about a supremacy thing. It's about a historically accurate thing. And so being somewhat of a student of history, I prefer the movies to be accurate. And I am concerned that this is going to be maybe propaganda based as opposed to a historically accurate civil. You know what? And this, I think I'm losing my mind here. We're this movie. This you're talking about. It's not about the old Civil War, huh? This is. See, that's how much I've ignored it. That's how much I've ignored it. Civil War. Okay. Forgive everything I said for the last 2 minutes there. An adrenaline-fueled ride through a near future fractured America balanced on the razor's edge. And that's why I have ignored this movie. And it wasn't historically accurate. I do believe it's going to be politically driven. And once I saw that, I pumped the brakes on it. So I don't know. So forgive everything I was saying about being historically accurate. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'll watch it, but we'll see. Movies that have agendas, like political agendas, get on my nerves. And so I'm not sure. I'm not sure, DP. But did you know, OGP, that a lot of Hollywood movies or actors' channel spirits have real witches doing their craft? This is real, no joke. I've heard a lot of things about stuff going on with Hollywood celebrities doing, different things, or, possibly being involved in like cannibalism or just different kind of taboo things. And one of I made conscious choices to learn as little about actors as I can, because the less I know about them, typically, the more I like them. And I don't dive too much into what actors are doing in their personal lives and stuff. And so I can't speak too much on that, but I have heard, and I believe you 100% that they're doing that stuff. Yes. I have 2 Easters because I'm Orthodox. And I remember you mentioned that last week, Antonis. Very cool. Mr. Bones, what's up? Robert C., how you doing? What's going on, homeboy? And sorry, I'm trying to skip ahead to get caught up with the comments here. Hopefully the new Omen film is good. The trailer has me excited about it. I am very excited about it. However, the original will never be topped. 100%. That original cast is untouchable. Talk about some heavy hitters. Yes. You're not, in my mind, you're not going to top the original Omen movie. That's where I am. But I hope this one is very good. Yes. Yes, iPic and CMX dine-in theaters are awesome. Nice, very cool. Broovies Cinema Pub is fun. I've never heard of that one, Sean. It must be, is that like a New England thing? What candy eggs were you talking about in the beginning of the stream? You said Cadbury, the one filled with cream. Yes. The one that has like the white cream with the little yellow yolk in them. Love those. I also have those Cadbury eggs. They have a shell coating that are candies you're talking about. Yep, those are the ones. Hey, guy, don't forget to hit the like button for OGP. Yes, if you would, everybody. Gail, thank you so much for reminding me of that. And about 4 minutes from now, I'm going to recap. I'm going to try and do this on Mondays when we're doing the live stream. I'm going to try and go at the top of each hour down and review like the news for the week. So we'll try and get into that in just a few minutes here. Luxury cinemas are worth the money. Space, recliners, assigned seats, waiter. It brings back date night to movie night. Nice, Rob. And that's where, so like the theater that we have close here, it has assigned seating. It has the recliners, the little table in front of you, everything, but it doesn't have like the waiters. And but I'm okay with it for the price. I am okay with it. And we don't have one of those like luxury theaters right around here, and that's why I've only been a couple times. But no, it is very cool. The idea of that, it's kind of like going to a baseball game and sitting in the sections where they actually have food servers that bring you food. I don't know if waiter or waitress is the appropriate title for them, but they bring you, food. You order it on the app and they bring it to you. That stuff is pretty cool. So to have that at a theater, that would be pretty cool too. Let's see here. Trying to get caught up. I'm a grumpy old man these days. The fun of going to the theater is gone for me. People just don't have any common civility anymore. It boggles my mind. Jeff, I am with you. I love the theater experience, but yes, people can drive you nuts. They really can. Yep. Going to the cinema on a random to catch a new flick, best ever. Yes, Indrid. And so for me, and that's where, like when I go, I still like to, if I can, go to a matinee or go to a late showing or go on a Sunday after everybody's been there Friday and Saturday when it's not as big of a crowd. That's kind of what I like. Years of being comped at, nice, at the lot La Jolla spoiled me. I bet I can imagine. I've never been to that theater, Rob, but I bet that theater is pretty nice. You brought up candy holidays. My favorite personally is Halloween, since it's basically only about candy. Yet no. And I don't mean like just quantities of candy, but I think for Easter you get like the chocolate bunnies and you get the Cadbury eggs and you get the Reese's eggs. And Reese's like pumpkins are cool and everything, but there is something about the Reese's eggs that are phenomenal. So that's why I think it's the type of candy as opposed to like the quantity. Preminator, Frank C, what up? How you doing, Frank? Good to see you. Hopefully, man, Frank's a Dodger fan. It bugs me, drives me nuts. But man, look like you and your lady had a blast at the ball game the other night. Love going to a ball game. Not a Dodger fan by any means, but man, it's hard to beat a good night at the ballpark. With friends or family or whatever. So yeah, it looked like you guys had a great time there the other night, Frank. Can you please tell Brendan to go live more often when he's not working? Brendan's not the biggest fan of going live. He has a lot of videos. He has a lot of things going on, and he's working very hard lately on his family documentary thing that he's doing. So he's got a lot going on. He really, really does. But he is, and he does lives, but just, not that often. He's just not the biggest fan of them. Jose Prentice is one of the good directors at Asylum now. 100% agreed. Yes. He's been doing it for a while now. Another good one of his is The Haunting of the Whaley House. Yes, which I have right over here. The Haunting of the Whaley House was a good movie, a fun movie. His Headless Horseman was a pretty fun movie where you're taking really the horseman off a horse and put him on a motorcycle. That was a pretty fun movie. I definitely, out of all his movies, probably The Exorcists is my favorite. But The Haunting of the Whaley House, especially growing up in San Diego, is definitely one of my favorites of his. And it's funny because they shot it in Long Beach, California. It wasn't even shot in San Diego. And I don't think there's any way that because being a historical like landmark or whatever, historical building, you couldn't go film a horror movie in the Whaley House. Documentaries and stuff like the Ghost Hunters and that type of stuff. Yeah, those type of things, but not an actual horror movie where you're possibly throwing blood around and stuff. They wouldn't let you do that, but it was fun. His Haunting of the Whaley House was a fun movie. Did you leave carrots out for the Easter Bunny on Sunday night? I left that stuff up to my wife. She always handles all that type of stuff. How about one where Abraham Lincoln is a vampire? I know, Reggie. I have not watched that. I have not. Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. I have not watched that one yet. The Asylum one was Lincoln versus zombies, and it was pretty good. Better than Lincoln Vampire. Okay, interesting. Yeah, Lincoln versus zombies. Oh, man. Hilarious. Omen 06 was boring. Yeah, and I think that's this one right here. Right, I believe that's this one in this box set that I have. I don't think I'll be able to read that small. I think it's this one. Yeah, no, you with the Omen, you can't get much better than the first. The trailer for this one looks so good. The new one, I can't wait. Ruby Cinema Pub is in Utah. Okay, interesting. Utah, huh? Wow, Utah is very strict with their alcohol rules. Interesting. Love Tim Burton's documentary, or Tim Burton's. Is that Tim Burns or Burton's? Tim Burns documentary. Love Gettysburg movie. Yeah, I'm not familiar. I've seen a few different Gettysburg movies or movies based around the Civil War. I can't quote. I watch them once and they're pretty much done or whatever. So I can't really quote historical movies, but man, I've been to Gettysburg. I've driven around, and if you've been there, Eisenhower's ranch was right next to the Gettysburg battlefield. What a truly like heartbreaking place to go, to know how many people died and fought there. It's just insane. You feel the energy there in Gettysburg, and the actual town of Gettysburg. It's crazy. I spent Halloween in Gettysburg once several years ago. Kind of nuts. It was pretty cool. But it definitely, the town of Gettysburg definitely has some charm to it. But the battlefield, wow, is that a powerful place to visit? You guys, I know, right? I know. I'm sitting here. I haven't even had dinner yet, and so when we get done here, I'm gonna be going and eating. That's for sure. Wife loves Gone with the Wind. No, and that is an absolute classic. And now in Gone with the Wind, I mean, that is, in film movie history, it is, one of the most legendary movies of all time. Obviously, I think we all know that. It's a movie that everybody should see at least once. But I remember having to watch it in high school. And when I was at that age, I was like, ugh, this is so long and so boring and stuff. But when you get a little bit older and watch it, you appreciate it a lot more. They even say Heath Ledger channeled demonic spirits while he was acting as a Joker for Batman. Interesting. He got in severe depression and wasn't the same, but passed away in his apartment. It's sad. Huh. Yeah. Yeah, boy, I think talking about witchcraft and spirits and possessions and things like that would probably be best saved for one of my other live streams, my Wake the Dead live streams, where it's kind of talk about more of anything, just not to dive too far into that and get too far off topic. But no, it is very interesting. It is very interesting. Maybe I'll do a little research on that, Coco Tina, and we'll talk about that stuff one night. I'm craving those soft pretzel bites with the nacho cheese. Oh, those are so good. So good. Now you're making me hungry, Jennifer. Oh, that's hilarious. And so here we go. 7:58. So I'm 7 minutes behind in the comments. So I'm going to try and keep the news update quick here, but let's dive back in. And once again, Jennifer, thank you again for that $10 super chat. Really, really appreciate it. So talking about the news coming up this week in theaters, The First Omen is coming out, and Monkey Man. Two big ones. They look to be good. If you go see either one of those, I'm sure you're going to have a good time. Also, Monster Mash, we just talked about with Michael Madsen, directed by my good friend, Master Chaos, Jose Prentice, is streaming now on Apple TV and I believe Voodoo, he said, and you can catch it in select theaters. I'm not sure for how long, but if you search it, you probably see if it's in one near you. And then I am still so excited for Abigail coming out April 19th. I cannot wait for that. That movie looks great. And yes, I still need to go see Godzilla and Kong. It is getting a 55% from the experts, 92 from the fans. So people are typically enjoying this when they leave the theater. So I should check that out and let you know my thoughts on that after watching it. And Late Night with the Devil, I still need to go see that. I wanted to go see it this week. I just didn't have time. But this one has phenomenal scores on Rotten Tomatoes, 97 and 82 from the audience. So Late Night with the Devil looks to be very, very, very good. Can't wait to see that. And then very shocking, surprising news, Winnie the Pooh 2 is doing well. I can't believe it. The first one had a 3% score on Rotten Tomatoes. This one from the experts has a 50%. Fans, as of this morning, were at 80%. That is mind-blowing to me. So, hey, I'm going to have to check it out, I guess, and I'll let you know what I think of it afterwards. But now, because of that success, boom, just like Terrifier 2 did so well, they're like, oh, we got to make Terrifier 3. So now they're making Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 3. Supposedly it's going to have a bigger budget and be a little bit better than the first two. So we shall see about that. I just don't know. Ready or Not 2 is in development with Samara Weaving. Cannot wait for that. Absolutely love the first Ready or Not movie. It is so, so good. Very crazy, violent, bloody. Absolutely love it. Scream 7, now we know Neve Campbell is back on board. Courtney Cox is now in talks to join the cast. So hopefully we get a nice cast reunion there with Courtney and Neve. And yes, again, rest in peace to Louis Gossett Jr., the first Black man to ever win Best Supporting Actor in an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor. The new Chucky movie is in development and supposed to be kind of like working in cahoots with the Chucky TV show. So if you're a fan of that, the Chucky movie should be right up your alley. And then Hellraiser 2022, they're talking about a sequel for that. It's still in talks, not even in development. They're just in talks about it. But I would entertain that. I had kind of some fun with the Hellraiser 2022. Not the best in the franchise, but I thought it was pretty good. And so that's what's going on in the movies this week. Other watches, recent watches that movies I've checked out was Shooter with Mark Wahlberg and Animal Factory with Steve Buscemi and Eddie Furlong. And the cast is amazing. It has a great, great cast. So I'm just drawing blanks on who else was in it right now. But both great movies. If you get a chance to check out either, if you have not seen them, Shooter or Animal Factory, I highly recommend both of them. Shooter, Mark Wahlberg is brought in by like the FBI or CIA or somebody to go and figure out how a presidential assassination may take place. And then you find out they set him up to be a scapegoat for the assassination. And it's funny, very, very similar references to JFK's assassination in that movie. In fact, the room where they are, it wouldn't surprise me if they actually shot that at Dealey Plaza there in Dallas, because the room where the shooting supposedly takes place looks just like, I mean, if you've seen pictures or been to the book depository building there in Dealey Plaza, in Shooter, the room where they're shooting from looks exactly like that. So that was very crazy. But Shooter was a great movie. And then Animal Factory is a fun movie where Eddie Furlong is a young kid getting put into prison, and it's about him kind of his personality and just him evolving as a person and adapting to prison life. And Animal Factory is a very fun watch. I watched that with Fluffy the other night. It was a good movie. So I highly recommend those. Shooter, I would give maybe like a 7.5 out of 10. And Animal Factory, probably like a 7 out of 10. Both of them very good movies. Definitely worth the watch. And so with that, we'll try and get caught up back on the comments. Legend Antonis, thank you so much for the super chat, homeboy. Do you think Scream 7 will come out in 2025? Yes, I do. It's still early enough this year. They already have a script written. I do believe we will get Scream 7 in 2025. Yes, I do. To answer that question, I really do. I'll be surprised if we don't, for sure. And let's see here. Rob says Whaley House was as accurate as Winchester. Yeah, the Haunting of the Whaley House was not. So the Haunting of the Whaley House was not designed to really follow historically the story of the Whaley House. It was more about these kids going there and what were they, Ouija board or doing a seance or something, and bad things start happening. But no, I don't think historical accuracy was on Jose's agenda as he was writing that script. But it was fun. It was still a fun watch. And even though it was not and didn't look anything like the real Whaley House, it was still a fun watch. It definitely was. And the Winchester movie. The Winchester movie about the Winchester house being haunted. I love that movie. That was a fun movie. Historically accurate or anything, but it was a fun movie. AOGP, fellow legends, have to go. Having a bad thunderstorms with lightning power keeps going off. Peace out. Gail, thanks for hanging out with us. I appreciate you very, very much. Have yourself a good night, and I'll see you soon, sir. Speaking of the Civil War, I just started reading a biography of Ulysses S. Grant. Nice. Oh, man, I love, the thing about history, what's so interesting is it's so not politically correct. Just, you look at, things that went on in World War II. I mean, things that happen in history as recent as yesterday are sometimes hard pills to swallow. But going back and learning about these historical figures and maybe what drove them to be the person they were, or, maybe things you just didn't know about them, is very interesting to find out a little bit more about the people behind the war. Because you hear about these wars, and we all know, about Washington, it being the first president and leading the Civil War or the Revolutionary War, all this stuff. We all know about Paul Revere. We know about the big names, but as far as really getting to know them or being involved in their lives is very interesting. And that's one thing my wife and I do when we travel. We go to a lot of national parks or historical places. We love, in fact, with my brother Rob, who's in the chat here, went to, like them or not, we went to the George W. Bush and H.W. Bush presidential libraries in Texas. Forgive me. And we went to the LBJ presidential library down there. And we've been to the Reagan Library, JFK, Hoover, and Eisenhower, and just a bunch of different presidential libraries. And, we've been to Valley Forge. We've been to so many, around DC, so many of the historical areas there, places. So many, Mount Vernon, so many different places, because it is fun to travel and experience history. I really enjoy it. So that's very cool that you're checking out that book. Why are all 3 Strangers movies coming out in the same year? Isn't that too soon and silly? Antonis, I am not sure about that. I knew there was a new Strangers movie coming. I had not done the research or heard about another 1 or 2 more. I don't know. I visited Fort Stanton in New Mexico. There's a lot of history there, nice historic buildings, but it did it did feel kind of haunted. Interesting. No, and that's another aspect of seeing some of these historical buildings that makes it very fun. And gosh, Fort Stanton, that sounds so familiar. I just had to see this on a map. I had to see if I've been there. I'm not sure if I've been there or not. I know I've driven down that highway, the 380 there in New Mexico, into Roswell, and or out of Roswell. But I don't know if I went to that fort. But there's so many different historical like forts and things from like Civil War or Revolutionary War, different places that I've been. And it is cool to walk in. And my brother and I just recently visited the Alamo. So how could I not? Here, you ready for it? Ready for it? How could I not remember the Alamo? How could I not do that? But we visited that, and there are parts of that building that are like, kind of cool and kind of like, especially when you get into those older, buildings that are, the air is still and it's kind of cold, very eerie feeling there. But love checking out historic places. That's cool. Have you ever toured a jail or prison before? Antonis, I have been to Alcatraz. Yes, I would love to go to the Eastern State Penitentiary in Pennsylvania. It's in Philadelphia. And it's funny because Animal Factory was supposed to take place at San Quentin in California, but it was actually shot. And I recognized the prison right away because of seeing like ghost hunting and stuff there. But it's shot at that Eastern State Penitentiary in Philadelphia. So it's funny. It's supposed to be in California, shot in Philadelphia. But I want to go tour that one. I have not been there. I've been in other like smaller jails and stuff that were on different bases or, old military bases and stuff. But I think the main jail that I've toured was Alcatraz, which was very, very cool. And I think I've been there twice to Alcatraz. Kong vs. Godzilla New Empire was action-packed and far-fetched, but it was entertaining. I liked it. Late Night with the Devil was good. However, I do have questions, so I need to rewatch it. Okay, Frank, very cool. And I haven't seen Late Night with the Devil yet. I totally want to. Immaculate was, man, oh, interesting. It was very difficult to believe Sydney Sweeney would be a celibate nun. There were some cool scenes and okay ending, but overall it's forgettable. Interesting. I loved it. I love, like a dark, slow-paced movie that is just leading up to a crazy ending. I really enjoyed Immaculate. I really enjoyed it. But that's why we're here to talk movies, because we're not all going to view them the same way. And that's a lot of people. Immaculate is like around 60% on the audience score. So a lot of people are maybe kind of in line with you. But boy, did I just absolutely loved Immaculate. I thought it was great. And one thing that I've done over the years is force myself to say, okay, I understand, especially like Liam Neeson. I understand I'm going to see this guy driving a semi-truck this time. I'm going to see him on an airplane. I'm going to see him in a subway. I'm going to see him here, there, wherever. And it feels like the same character, but we have to understand it's a different movie, different character, whatever. Same thing with like Stallone or Schwarzenegger. Seeing them in different roles is like, eventually it's like, yeah, you're the Terminator, you're not a kindergarten cop, but for me watching it was in the past very tough for me to say like, oh, I like an actor in this, and now seeing him in this is like, ugh. But I'm okay with an actor being, a different type of role for them. And so, it was, maybe they could have done more with her story to show why it would have been more plausible for her to be a celibate nun. But like a little more backstory or something. But I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was nuts, and I just love that type of movie. So I enjoyed it. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire was cool, but I enjoyed Afterlife a bit more. Interesting. This one was less comedic and more dark. I agree with that. And at the same time, sorry, I'm getting blown up again over here. I agree with the idea that it was more dark and less comedic. I think it was less comedic because their jokes just fell flat. Their jokes were not good. There was a lot of jokes that just fell flat. I enjoyed this one way more than Afterlife. I absolutely hated Afterlife because Afterlife felt like Stranger Things 5. And when you even got one of the Stranger Things kids in it, it's like, ugh. We didn't get the Ghostbusters till the very end of the movie. This one, at least we had the Ghostbusters throughout the movie. And I understand they're getting older. And if we want to keep the franchise going, we need a younger cast. I get that. And so transitioning to the younger cast, I like the way they did it with this movie a lot better than Afterlife. Afterlife is a movie. I'll never buy it. I'll never own it. I will never watch it again. Frozen Empire, maybe someday I'll watch it again. It won't be high on the priority list. But there were some funny moments, and that guy Nadeem was hilarious. But yeah, it was okay. It was okay. Let's see here. I went to the Ronald Reagan Library on a field trip as a kid years ago. Nice, very cool place. Love that the location, and then get to walk through Air Force One. All that was very cool. Do you know criminals in person that will be in jail for life? I don't know. And I do know, I know people that have had trouble with the law and stuff. But I don't want to talk about anybody's personal life. I would say my answer to that is maybe yes, but I don't want to dive into it, Antonis. Speaking of your travels, it reminds me of the day you tracked down Elvis Presley's airplane. That was a fun video. Yes, wasn't it? Over there in Roswell, New Mexico, I started out there at the UFO Museum, walked around Roswell a little bit, drove around, and then, went and saw Elvis's plane, which apparently somebody, I don't know if they're trying to restore it or what they're doing with it, but somebody bought that airplane. And I don't know, because I can't imagine that it was still airworthy. But that was a very fun video. I love that video. GP Fort Stanton is by Rosito, New Mexico, and they also have the Lincoln Historic Site is close by. Whenever you want to take a road trip, there's a nice lake and nice shops in downtown. Very nice. No, and I want to go back to New Mexico. I want to go one of the days, because there's like 2 days a year where you can go to the Ground Zero site where they detonated what are they? I'm drawing a blank. It's not Fat Man or Little Boy, whatever they called that first atomic bomb. Why am I forgetting? The Trinity site. You can go to the Trinity site in New Mexico. I've already been up to the lab up there in New Mexico where they were developing the nuclear bomb, but they developed it there in New Mexico, and at a site in Washington State, and at a site in Tennessee. And all three of those are now national parks. I have not been to the one in Washington, and I've not been to the one in Tennessee yet. I want to go to both those two. But I definitely want to go there and see the Trinity site. And Roswell's fun. I'd love to go back there someday. So I'll definitely have to check that out. I will. Thanks for the tip there, Coco Tina. I appreciate that. Sorry about that. I was brought up stuff you've ever toured a jail before. Forgive me. No. Antonis, that's fine. Touring a jail is fine. Questions like that. I just don't want to dive into people's personal criminal lives or whatever. Might have missed it, but how was Jose's Master Chaos premiere? What's the name of the movie again? Can I stream it? Yes. So Frank. It is Monster Mash, starring Michael Madsen. You can stream it on Apple TV and I think like Vudu right now. Or whatever you stream through Vudu, but Apple TV and one other place it is available right now. But it was fun, man. We had a blast and got to see. This is I love going to Mastercast premiere because you've got the legendary Scream Queen Michelle Bauer in attendance because she is in the movie. You've got Harry Manfredini there, who get to sit there and just chat with Harry Manfredini. Is awesome, and he did the score for this movie as well. And and then Jeffrey Mandel, who directed the movie from the 80s, the Elves Christmas horror movie. And those legends, as well as like being there with Fluff and Brendan, and then hanging out with Master Chaos and his lovely family. Man, he is what a man. MC has it together, man. He has just a gorgeous family, nice little life, and he is just the most wonderful person. And I will support him in any one of his ventures from now till the day I die. He is just one of those type of human beings that you can't help but love. And the movie was fun. If you're into the classic monsters like Dracula, Frankenstein, Wolfman, or the Invisible Man, or the Mummy, stuff like that, definitely a great movie for you to check out. And a crazy ending, which Master Cass will tell you was not his idea when he went to do the movie. The Asylum had, I guess, kind of, I don't know how much of that I'm allowed to say or whatever, so I'm going to stop right there. But the ending of the movie was something that kind of some producers wanted done if he was going to make the movie. So, but check it out. It was fun. It was fun. And man, the guy who plays Dracula is just great. So I recommend check it out. Arcadian and Longlegs are two upcoming Nicolas Cage horror movies I'm looking forward to. Yes, I agree with you, Reggie. Especially Longlegs looks crazy. Will you love movies like me the rest of your life? I'm sure I will, Antonis. I'm sure I will. Yes, I'll always love horror movies too. Yes. FYI, the Courthouse from Lawman Bass Reeves Show is the real downtown records building. Yes, get to drive out there a couple times a month. Nice. Well, that's cool. Yeah, and there's, what was that show? There was a TV show recently that had, it was about a woman in Texas who killed her, it was like she was having an affair with the guy and she ended up killing the guy's wife, but it was kind of like an accident or whatever, or she didn't really kill her, something. But it was about that story of her, like killing them. And it was like starring Elizabeth Olsen and I forget the other guy's name, but the other guy was the guy in Breaking Bad, right? Breaking Bad. He was like the guy that held, no. Yeah, Breaking Bad. It was the guy that, the younger guy that held Pinkman hostage. Not the older guys there, but the younger guy, he's in it, plays her lover. And Elizabeth Olsen's character kills the wife. That was shot at like courthouses in Texas. And it looked so much like, what's the name of that little town where we went and had that burger, me, you, and Dominique? Whatever the name of that town is. It looked just like that town square. And so I had to go check. And it was another town in Texas. But man, so many of those little town squares with the old courthouses, everything look so much alike. Like very cool stuff. Right on, Frank. Yeah, I'm sure Jose would love for you to check it out. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. You'll enjoy it. If you had to choose one for the rest of your life, would you choose movies or TV shows? That's tough. That is tough because, man, like The Sopranos and Breaking Bad and like Dexter and Sons of Anarchy. There's great shows. Antonis, that's a tough question. I'm just glad, and I don't know that I can answer that, but I'm just glad I don't have to. Denton, correct. Yep, that's right. Yeah, it looked just like downtown Denton. So hyped for the upcoming Chucky movie. Yeah, it should be right up your alley, 100%. Movies easily for you. Nice. Okay. Yeah, that's a tough call for me. Very tough call. But look at that. We're an hour and a half in, And I'm actually caught up with the comments. Can you believe that? After all this food talk and everything, I am getting a little bit hungry. So I think maybe we'll wrap this stream up. We've been going for an hour and a half. Usually we get to 2 hours or more, but there's no set time or anything. But it's been a fun little chat. I've had a great time. Jennifer, again, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Appreciate it. Anthony, forgive me. Antonis, thank you so much for your super chat there. I really, really appreciate you both. You're absolute legends. So cool of you to do that and support the channel here. But yeah, everybody have yourselves a great night. Thanks for hanging out. Next week, a programming note here. Next week, I will be here doing our normal live thing. But the week after that, I'm going to do everything in my power to be live, but I should be live streaming the Horror Movie Monday show, hopefully sitting on a chair on the beach in Hawaii. So that is the plan. We already have the trip booked and everything. That 2 weeks from now will be my 20th wedding anniversary vacation trip. And so look at that. I'll be on my 20th wedding anniversary trip, and we will still be doing our Horror Movie Monday show. So hopefully you all are able to hang out for that and watch me chilling on a beach somewhere talking about horror movies. So I'll do what I can to make sure that happens. Hopefully I have a good enough internet connection, but there should be some fun and some videos coming out of that trip as well. So hopefully I'll see you there. But next week we'll definitely be back here for sure. So anyways, everyone, have yourselves a wonderful night, a wonderful week, and I will see you next Monday. Same bat time, same bat channel. Peace out, everybody. Have a good one.